So we're back in our old mid-side preset, and I'm here to explore the Isolator. Let's go over to our insert effects, and looks like I have a few routed to the insert effects. I'm gonna actually take those off. Doo-doo. Get out of here. Okay. So insert effect 1, I want the Isolator. And then for insert effect 3, I also want the Isolator. Where is you at? There you are. And then I'm going to want the exact same settings for these as well. I routed the first isolator into insert effect 2, and then the second isolator is just going to go to the output. And I can go ahead and leave the bus select off for now. And then let me go back to routing, and then I want to route timbre 10 to insert effect 1, and timbre 11 to insert effect 3. Remember, these timbres are exactly the same. I'm also going to take away the sends to the master effects. And yeah, I'll leave, I'll leave everything else the way it is. So the reason I did that is because I want to have the same timbre go to two different isolators, and then I'm going to isolate different sections, and then I'm going to add an effect here. In fact, I'll just choose the effect now. It's going to be distortion. I could choose like a hard clipper, or since I just went over the wahs, why don't we choose one of the overdrives? There we are. I gain wah. I'll leave it bypassed for now. And you know what? Let's go to the regular output. Left, right, left, right. So now the master effects are not in use at all. If I play, I will play both timbres, but I just want to play timbre 10 for right now, which is already selected. Timbre 10 with 11 on mute. So when I play, we're just hearing that sound go through this stereo isolator. Let me go to the isolator and start messing around with it. So first, let's dip one of the bands. Whoa, plus 12. Didn't know it could do that. Let's isolate the snare. Take away the low band, take away the high band, and let's set the frequency for the mid band. Ooh, it's pretty big jumps. 200 hertz. Let's see. Does this one also jump in 100 hertz? No, this one's a little bit more smooth. Oh, this is trim. Input trim. So yeah, that makes sense. We're just setting the crossovers. So anyway, let's put the high one as high as it goes for now, and then let me check out. Let's get rid of that kick. That's pretty good. That's a little high. The kick is gone though. Screw it. Let's go. Let's get rid of the kick entirely. Now let's get rid of the high stuff. And actually, I do want this low. It's pretty isolated. I can still hear a little bit of the high stuff, a little bit of the kick. You know what? Let's really just isolate the snare. Okay, so there it is. So we're at 400 and 2K. Let's do the exact same settings for our other isolator. 400, 2K. Except this time, we're going to do the opposite. And I'll put the mid gain on nothing and leave these two at 0. So now when I kick in timbre 11, we essentially get the same sound again. And I can demonstrate that by turning off timbre 11 and then bypassing the effect. I can actually still hear some slight phasing from the two timbres playing on each other. I don't think there's really a way around that. The only other way around that would be for me to use the master effects. But if I'm separating out like a snare with the isolator in the master effects, then I can't really do any processing to it afterwards. With this setup, I could throw that snare through a distortion unit and then I'm just distorting the snare without distorting anything else in the signal. So let's do that. Weird. Let's mess with those a bit. I just want distortion. I don't need all this EQ. Ooh, reload that. I do want that. You know what? Since we have that pre-low cut, we can probably go down to 300. Overdrive. Let's check high gain. You know what? I'm gonna put this one back. Oh, hundo. Just do overdrive. You know what? I liked it on hyper gain. So as you can see, we're just distorting the snare. We're also putting the snare in mono with this effect. You know what? Since we're actually putting the snare in mono when the original sound is not in mono, because again, I'm using the, like, I'm gonna sneeze. I think that's the first time I've ever sneezed in one of these tutorials. So with these timbres, these are the jazz ambient kits, dry ambient. So the second oscillator is actually like 2 room mics that were recorded with each sample, and that is getting ruined with the overdrive. So I'd really want a distortion effect for this. Let's choose some kind of stereo wave shaper or something like that. Somewhere around here. There it is, stereo wave shaper. And I'm going to choose the this one that's like kind of like a hard clipper. Real steep, super square. So that's kind of like a pretty much as close as you can get to like a hard clipper on there. Let's listen to that. So our distortion is, or sorry, our width is preserved in this case. Pretty low pass filter. Let's take that off. I don't really want any of this, just in case I have other programs using those. Oop. And then, ooh, post EQ. Let's actually turn off timbre 11, so I can really just hear what this is doing. You can actually hear it kind of already just sounds like clipping. Let me double check to make sure that I'm not clipping in the output. No, doesn't appear so. Let's fashion the EQ. This is just kind of further isolating the snare sound. Output level. This is a overall output level, so dropping it to 0 is infinite to 1. Let's turn that a bit down and then turn up this distortion. Let me check out some of these other algorithms. Nah. Check that super score one more time. I'm just really not finding a distortion that I like. Okay, I like this one. Cool. Now we're super distorting this. The third time we're back 11 back in. Bypassing this. It's pretty neat. Cool. So we created a kind of isolation. You know what we can also do is, I wonder if there's a way for me to also do mid-side processing after this. I don't think there is, but I'm gonna check it out just to make sure. So I'm isolating one timbre and then I'm isolating the other, and then I'm going out. Yeah, if I send, I would still have to send them both to both the mid and side. I was thinking, what if I send one to the mid and one to the side? But it wouldn't work because then I would only be sending the snare to one and then the rest of the kit to the other. But yeah, if I sent them both to mid-side, then that would work. And the way I would do that is go to my insert effects, turn off the buses, and we have the same mid-side setup from last time. So then I can just, it's so annoying that it turns off the thing. Let me just turn back on left to right, bam, and bam. Do the same thing for this, bam. Turn these off. And now let's hear it after we're going through our mid-side processor. Sick. So that compared to if you just want to hear it the regular way again. Pretty cool. Awesome. So that's it for the stereo isolator. I hope you had fun. Pretty much the whole trick is duplicate track, send one to the isolator, add any effects you want. You can also add effects to the other parts of whatever you're trying to process. And then go to your mid side if you feel like setting it up that way. And all that good stuff. Thank you.